Jenna here, and I've been doing a puzzle with my son, and I couldn't help but see the analogies to the puzzle and being a system. So this is not a perfect analogy because, you know, we're people, not things, but I think that it can really help people to understand a bit more what it's like being multiple. Trauma kept my experience of consciousness in pieces instead of a unified whole, as most people experience consciousness. Now, that doesn't mean that the pieces aren't in themselves a complete thing. You can have, say, Lil, who is a childhood snapshot of ourselves. And she is, in her own right, a fully formed picture. She's just not the entire picture. She's a part of it. Within systems, you can have bigger pieces. So, for instance, Jen contains a lot of us, whereas Anthony only contains one thing, like these jars. So we can see that he has a well-rounded whole picture of something. It's just not all of it. When pieces fuse together, they're still all of what they were before. But because they're now connected to the whole, the expression can be different. So we'll take these jars, for example. These are jars. And when you connect them to the whole, they still look like jars, but now it's different. This is what fusion does. Connecting a part to a whole doesn't eliminate that part, but the expression of that part is changed. And dissociative amnesia can be understood within this framework. If you think of like everything within this frame kind of communicates with each other, you can see where it is within relationship of the picture, even if it's not connected. But then you have things that are outside. Those pieces aren't necessarily connected to the rest. And so within DID systems, these can be pieces that there are dissociative amnesia with. So for instance, I have dissociative amnesia with Jennifer Adriana, but as we get closer, there's less and less amnesia. We're in the process of bringing her in so that her consciousness will be shared with the rest of ours. And then after that, there will be connections made. We're not quite there yet though. You can have pieces that are really dark or even confusing that don't seem to go with the rest of the picture. But as the picture comes together, even those end up being a part of the whole and a necessary part. But it's all a part of it coming together so that you can see the full shape of it. And these pieces we'll just call everything that's still back in the subconscious. A lot of times after people are diagnosed, they discover more and more and more alters. And sometimes psychologists are wondering if this is fueled by therapy or whatever. But no, it's because as you're working on pieces, there's still pieces left over that there just wasn't room to get to. And as there's room, those pieces come out. Because I sort by color, I can say, well, these are all the reds, and these are all the greens, and these are all the yellows. Like I can say this is a protector, or this is an emotional altar, or this altar contains anger, and that one contains like sexuality. But those are arbitrary distinctions that are good for sorting. But in the end, it's all part of the whole picture. Even when colors don't seem to go together, they're still all part of the whole picture. And maybe we won't ever completely fuse. We'll certainly never be this. This is what neurotypical brains learn during childhood. This is what my brain learned. And now, as I'm healing, my brain is being able to bring pieces together. But fresh trauma can cause them to break apart again into the pieces that they were originally in, or even into new forms because, well, once they fused, they might not break away the same. But whether we look like a puzzle that's all done or we look like pieces that are complete. Small pictures all working together to communicate an idea. We're still a person. We still contain what other people contain. We just might contain it differently.